Welcome back to another episode of Sports Dan Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Hooker. You see Romell. You see Justin. We are finally back. Me and Romell was here last week. Justin was nowhere to be found. Uh,
And
it's
y'all
all
love
good.
talking. Hold up, bro. Y'all gotta stop talking about my guys in Bama when I'm not here. Y'all literally I can't tell y'all how much that blows me. Like, bro, there's no way that this isn't on purpose.
Bro, what you mean?
Yeah. Cause both times, bro, I forget what y'all talked about the first time that I was gone. Y'all talked about some Bama stuff. And then this time y'all start talking about Ty Simpson, bro. It's like, bro.
Oh yeah, because I said Ohio State took all of Bama's transfers.
Oh
They,
I
yeah.
did say that one time. They were though. They took like three of them.
And then we talked about how Bama wasn't in that portal for real.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, we
yeah.
did. We did.
Then I said Bama's on a downward spiral. Downward spiral.
Yeah, y'all do all this when I'm not here.
Yeah.
Like, you get it,
And then
man? Like, that's
yeah,
so
I got
crazy.
it.
Uh,
I got attacked by a few Bama fans too.
nah, it's all good. But well, show up then. You know what we do.
I'm here.
Uh okay, so guys, Joel Klatt came out with his top 10 coaches for the college football world, and let's see who he has 1 through 10, and let's see if we will make any adjustments to them. Okay, so let's go ahead. Romell, who is number 10 on the list?
So we have Joel. He had put number 10. Hold on. My screen's like loading very slowly. I'm got my phone.
All right.
Sorry guys, hold on.
Talking
This is
about
why.
Joel Klatt. Number 10, he has Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I think
10 Lane.
Lane at 10 should be bumped up. I don't think Lane should be 10. Just because I
Off
think
rip.
the way the way he recruits and I just think like his offensive like philosophy and like the way he's like changed Ole Miss program, I think he should at least be like 8 to 6 range, 6 to 8 range. I think 10 is a little. I don't think he should be like that tier. He's definitely like top 8, top 6 in my opinion. At least top 7.
Yeah, off rip, scrolling through this list, looking at like, I guess, are we doing like a slow reveal? Because like, I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah,
'Cause looking
yeah,
at some of the
yeah.
guys that are in
Sure.
front of him is like,
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so like, yeah, like, there's
so Lane move up. Okay.
Lane moves up off rip, yeah, because
Okay.
Yeah.
looking at 8 in, yeah, some of the guys in that range that Romell said 6 to 8 is like, he's better.
I think Lane's a perfect 6 to 8 range. I don't think he's top 5, not yet. Unless LSU has a great season, like they win 10 to 11 games, then you can put him top 5. But like from the past couple years of Ole Miss, you can put him like top 8, top 7. His recruiting's phenomenal. He changed Ole Miss program. He went 55-19 with Ole Miss. Um, if you want to be upfront and basic, like he led Ole Miss to a college football playoff. He just left early, like
Yeah.
technically. So yeah, and then Ole Miss last season, I think they won 10 games. So I think like wherever he goes, he can build a program from up to down within like snap of his fingers. He did it at he did it at FAU, he did it at Ole Miss. Obviously there's some history with USC and Tennessee, but present time, like he's changed 2 programs, so I think he should definitely be considered like at least top 8, top 7.
Yeah. Even with USC and Tennessee, I feel like he was still competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like that was Tennessee wasn't competitive for a long time. And like the last time you could say they were before they got to Heupel and everything was kind of Kiffin. Like honestly, like what they were
Yeah.
at least like trying to look like they were doing something was kind of Kiffin before that. But I'll say yeah. Overall, there's just no way that some of these guys that are in front of him, like you said, Lane Kiffin has gotten his team to the playoff. He's gotten them to be at a high level competing in the SEC year over year. Not only that, arguably in the SEC championship or could have been or should have been a lot of, you know what I'm saying, with the SEC rankings, a lot of head to heads and all that other stuff came into play. But like they're a team that has been a contender for that game. And then on top of that, just putting guys into the draft in NFL, like Jackson Dart. Like he's been sending first rounders. So yeah, like nah, this is a better coach than than 10 for sure.
All right. Who's 9?
Mario Cristobal from Miami.
He got to move up.
I think Mario should at least like I said for Lane, at least
Wait,
eight
I'll say,
tier. Or
I'll
I
say,
think 9 could be perfect for Mario, low key, I
yeah,
think.
facts.
Yeah,
Because when we think about it, at Oregon, were people claiming Oregon as a disappointment during certain times because they had the talent but couldn't like make
yeah,
the
they couldn't
playoff.
get over the hump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Mario's a perfect spot. I would say 9 or 8. Anything over 8, no, don't put him over. Don't put him 7. He's not top 7, but he's definitely 9 or 8 range. But you gotta give him credit. Miami just went through a gauntlet in the college football playoff. They beat A&M, Ohio State, you beat Ole Miss. You were neck and neck with Indiana for a little bit, and then they just pulled away. Like it's that simple. So I think Cristobal deserves a little bit more respect within the community. I think, but I do say 9 is perfect though. 9 or 8 is perfect for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to let recency bias be like too crazy, but yeah, I would say right now, I know a lot of people will probably put him really high because he's just coming off a championship and everything like that, coming off ACC, playing really well in there and everything. But as of right now, I would give Cristobal, he's above Kiffin. I'll give him that. And yeah, I would say 8 to 7.
Okay.
In terms of like
Actually,
recruiting
I would
too,
say
I don't
six
know
to eight
though.
again. I would
It's
say
like
6 to 8 again because I'm gonna lie, like is Sark
I
better
mean,
than him?
I think I'm taking Kiffin over Cristobal though, just in terms of recruiting. I think Kiffin's a better recruiter than Cristobal.
Um, Chris, Chris Paul is just blessed to have unlimited funds from Miami. So let's keep
Yeah,
moving.
I feel like that's what it is, and I think well, we're about to see shit. We're about to see that with Ole Miss, LSU, and Lane Kiffin though. Like Lane Kiffin's about to get an
But
unlimited
think, but
10
think, but think about it, though. Lane was actually like transfer portal, and think
Yeah, that's
about it.
true. Ole Miss.
Nobody was thinking like Ole Miss can be like this recruiting prowess of amongst the elite. But Ole Miss was
Right.
getting recruits. Like they had got like the number like 3 wide receiver. Was it 2024 class?
Yeah, they
Caleb
also
Cunningham. Yeah.
and that's why I give Lane his credit where because he found Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? D2 quarterback actually like when lights out.
Fact,
He got Keywan Lacey. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gotten a lot of guys. He found Dart from USC. Like you know what I mean? So I think that's
fact.
why I give credit where credit's due. And obviously Chris Bo got Cam and then you got Beck, but like in comparison though, like in terms of recruiting, I think Lane would takes the cake over Cristobal. That's why I have Lane over Cristobal at least.
I'll say in the last 5 years, I feel like Ole Miss, yeah, they've been more of a name, more competitive than Miami has. I guess that's a tough one. That's a really tough one because yeah, I guess it would come down to recruiting, and I guess this is where my recency bias does come in a little bit. Cristobal, like Miami, really surprised me this season. Like I told y'all that. Like I didn't think anyone in the ACC could do anything that was important in this year's playoffs. Honestly, so the fact that he did that, I guess, just gives him a little bit more credit to me than what Lane Kiffin has done. Like even though I do give Lane Kiffin a lot of credit, like his team was able, he prepared his team so well that even when he left, they were able to ball out. Give credit to Pete Golding as well, but I
Yeah.
think that does talk to how good Kiffin has done. So it's like this is a really close one. I won't lie between these two, but
Yeah.
as of right now, currently where we're at, I have to give Cristobal that slight edge. Just the fact that he did make it to that championship, somewhere that Kiffin hasn't been.
So yeah, we
Mm.
get so 10 is Lane, 9 is Cristobal. Who's 8?
8, on the list right now at 8, they have what was it, Whittingham?
No, it's oh I see it. It's
Oh no,
Caleb.
Satake. They have Kalani Satake, yeah.
Who
But
are you?
yeah. I this was the name that I was like a little like, I don't know what this name's doing on this list. In my opinion. In my personal opinion. Like I don't think this name should be in the top 10. I would have to see, I guess, what are the names that were just left out in terms of honorable mention. But it's like it's hard for me to put him up there when your team hasn't competed at a level to contend like the rest of these coaches. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
and the thing is, BYU, um, they were close to making the playoffs. So I could see why Joel has him 8, but
yeah,
I don't think he's there yet. I would say I don't know. I think BYU, obviously their program has changed ever since he's came in. They've went 23-4 over the last 2 seasons, so I could see why he's getting top 10 honors. But I would say this. I would say like he's not there yet. I would say like he's like in the outskirts. I would like you could put him like honorable mention because
mm-hmm.
like I said, BYU was 23-4 in the last 2 seasons. Like they made the Big 12 championship. They just lost to Texas Tech. Texas Tech was powerhouse this season, even though they lost to Oregon in the second round of the playoffs. Um, so I would say like this isn't like a crazy like spot like pick, but I would say that like he's not deserving just yet.
Yeah.
okay.
But that's not to say like not to diminish his accomplishments though, because going 23-4 it's great. Like you've changed BYU's program, but I wouldn't say like he's a top 10 coach in college football yet.
No, I think he gets this based off the fact that he won that Big 12 Coach of the Year. But I will say, yeah, like you said, like I don't think he's there yet. Now, is he a good coach? Absolutely. Like the
Yeah,
fact that
he's a
BYU's
damn
been
good coach. Yeah,
competing over and over in terms of, I guess, they're competing in the sense of like they're on that playoff bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they make it and they might lose first round or they might barely not make it. They're kind of in that range. So it's like I give them that credit. But I guess I would just have to see more to put him above guys like Cristobal and Kiffin.
Yeah, I say he's 10.
who we got next?
Number 7, Kyle Whittingham. That's where Whittingham is.
Um, Whittingham over Cristobal, Lane, and Giamatti.
Mm, I I get why they do Whittingham because of how he was succeeding in Utah and how like his teams were always never question like their ability to show up in big time games. But
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I don't.
uh
He has a great record though. Like he's 177-88.
yeah, like
So
at Utah he made them like really really play well. And I think that the coaching he said at Utah was like undeniable. I think everyone knew that Utah was going to be a good team regardless because Kyle Whittingham was going to make sure like they play hard, they are disciplined, they are going to make things work on the
right.
offensive end. And then plus like Cam Rising, he was there for a very very long time,
Yeah, he was there
very
for
long time.
22 years, 21 years.
So it's like so it's like you have guys like that want to stay around your program for a long time, and you build themselves up as winners. That's them setting the culture for the future generation for them coming in. I think that they bought into that culture, and they now like Utah was a bunch of winners. But I'll say Whittingham, he can be that, but I think he can drop. But I do believe if he gets Michigan back to like 11 wins,
Yeah,
I think I think he can be that, but for right now, I think winning him, he can go like 8. He can go to 8. He can go to
yeah.
8.
But I would say with Whittingham, it's a tough spot because, like you said, longest tenure, like one of the longest tenure coaches in college football, 177-88 career record. He just left Utah, and I would say like to have him over Cristobal and Lane, like I think it goes back to like a respect thing. You know what I mean? Because he's been coaching at Utah for 20 years, and the reason why I think Joel has him so high is because like history shows like he's a winner. Like he's won conference titles in the Mountain West in the Pac-12, and now he's going to the Big Ten. So like I would say like you said, John, like if he can like get Michigan back into like the main prowess of like what they were with JJ and like Harbaugh and them, I could see him being top 7. I would lean. This is tough. I would probably lean Lane over Whittingham, but then I would have Whittingham over Cristobal though. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, so it'll be Lane 6, Whittingham 7, Cristobal 8.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. Because I honestly, maybe I'm like going off too much on Lane and like the way I think like the way his offensive mind works and then his recruiting is. I just feel like that's all like what you need from a head coach. Not taking anything from Whittingham, because obviously the resume speaks for itself. But we got to go back to this though. When was the last time Utah went to a college football playoff? Utah in the big games would choke. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I think Utah. I think for what it was, I think that I'm thinking of Cam Rising years. They did have some upsets, but they did. When I said them showing up, but I think Utah. I said did they choke?
Nah, listen, they're like I remember they would upset USC. Oh, remember the year Caleb was playing? They like swept them I think 2 straight times.
Yeah, they was frying. They had a number bad.
Yeah, so like that was the year, but then Utah never really went to the college football playoffs.
Oh, facts.
That's what I'm
Cause
saying. So like I could understand the respect aspect of having Whittingham top 7. He's a winner. He's won conference titles, but he's never gotten Utah over that hump.
I'll say he's had more good years than bad in a general sense, but like you said, yeah, he's never really gotten Utah past, it seems like, a certain point. His
Yeah.
his peak was back in 08. He went 13-0, went to the Sugar Bowl. But
Yeah, did Utah did they finish top 2? Because that was the BCS era.
that was at the time Utah was in the Mountain West Conference, so they were not
Exactly. Yeah, so
even
exactly. Like his highest look, his highest this college football his highest tier was 8. And that was 2022
Yeah.
where they went 10-4. That's what I'm saying and last season they went 11-2. Like they were like and I will say this, Kyle Whittingham, you went from a team that went 5-7 in 2024 to a team that went 11-2. It's great. It is great. But like
yeah.
I said, you've been at that school for 20 years and you didn't make a college football playoff. You didn't finish at least top. You've only finished top 15 1, 2, 3 times. 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the time he would at least have 4 or 5 losses. I'll say between 3 and 5 losses is what he kind of seems like he averages about. Yeah, but I guess Kyle Whittingham, he has the chance to be a riser because of Michigan and what he
Yeah.
could do there and how good that team already is, which is why I think it was extremely smart for him to take that opportunity. Like, you can't stay at Utah forever. Eventually, they will get tired of jumping up and down and not going any further than what they were before. But yeah, I think he could definitely be a riser. I think what he has is a high floor. Like he probably won't be any worse than, I guess, a 9-3. Like, he won't be
9-3, 10-2 season.
yeah, exactly. He won't be any worse than like a 9-3, maybe 8-4 if he has like a somewhat off year or whatever. I don't think with what Michigan's recruiting and how solid he is as a coach or what he's proven at Utah, like, he has a high floor. Now his ceiling is what the problem is to me. It's like, I don't know if his ceiling is any further past than what I just said his floor is. Like,
Nah, I'll say Kyle Whittingham can come in the Big Ten and like shake some things up because USC, Elias Riding on their freshman class, this coming up season, they had the #1 overall class. But then when you look at it, people who had the #1 overall class sometimes those recruits don't stick
Doesn't
around.
yeah, does not work out, especially in this era now. NIL. Does not
Yeah.
matter.
So it's like if you got those recruits, they better be what you paid for. So I think that that's one thing. Another thing, I think teams in the Big Ten are losing a lot of production. Like we think of the Ohio States, they're losing a lot of production on the defensive side of the ball. When you think of USC, now they trying to flip that switch of okay, what are we gonna do? They still trying to find an identity within themselves. Lincoln Riley is every other year he's in the coaching rooms of leaving USC. So if he's one foot in, one foot out, we don't know. Washington losing some weapons, but you retain their quarterback because he was finna get sued by the school, but he decided to come back. Uh, I think they have a really good chance at making some things shake for sure. Uh, so yeah, who's next?
Steve Sarkisian. He's at 6, and I think that's a perfect spot.
Boy. All I'm gonna say is Steve Sarkisian. If you don't win the SEC championship, if you don't beat Georgia, and if you don't make a college football semifinal or final, you gotta do all three things this year to prove to me that you're one of the top coaches in this profession.
The only reason that this man is over Lane Kiffin is because he's made an SEC championship once.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I'm
I
saying.
cannot
And he's
tell
made
you.
it far within the playoffs. That's the only reason why he's over Lane and the rest of these guys.
That's
Which
what
is
I'm
a
saying.
fair.
Like,
Which is fair.
Art, bro. Gosh,
that's the only reason.
bro, like you don't get me started on Texas as a whole. Like, oh my goodness, like that school right there is the definition of front running. Well, for those of you that don't know what front running is, they talk while they ahead, but when they're behind, they are silent.
Quiet. Yeah.
They are so silent.
Yeah,
And I
that's true.
feel like Texas is the perfect school that do that because before like it was like right before Sark. They was always saying Texas is back, Texas is back. Then Sark comes in. Here's where I think what messed them up. When Quinn Ewers got hurt 2021, 2022 against Bama. And if they would have beat Bama that year, folks would have been riding Texas high horse so crazy throughout the whole season. But then the season prolonged, they weren't looking so great. But then 2024 comes around. Arch is now the starting quarterback. They finally got rid of Quinn Ewers after like people were saying like they were tired of Quinn Ewers. Understood, he was there for like 3 years. He wanted some change. But then Arch comes. He didn't look so hot against Florida. People like, we're gonna figure out. Then Georgia comes around. Then you guys beat Texas A&M at the end to make. Then we have people pleading for a 3-loss team to make the college football playoff. Brother, if that name and logo don't take you places, I don't know what does.
Yeah,
And the
and I
thing,
would say that's why. But I still think like, listen, as much as a lot of people hate Texas, I would say like Sark at 6 is perfect because he's led Texas to 2 college football playoffs. So I think 6 is perfect because the year before the 12-team playoff, they made the 14 playoff. They played Washington the year before, and then it obviously went up to the fourth. That was a great game, really great game, and they just couldn't get it done. And then following year, you go back to the playoffs, you make it far enough. I think it makes it to the quarterfinal. I think it was. They played Ohio State, they lost. One game before the Natty, basically. So following year, this year, 10-3, obviously quote unquote disappointing season by Texas standards. So like you said, a lot's riding on Sark this season. It's honestly natty or bust. Like, to be honest, like we all know it is. Like he knows it. Texas fans knows it. Shoot, the players know it. It's natty or nothing. You
I'm
got
not.
so many transfers this past year. You got like we
bro,
all
don't,
know it.
Justin, if you come in saying it's not Natty or bust, you just
I
don't.
don't think it's not your bust.
It's
I'm not.
no, you're crazy. It's so natty or
I'm
bust in
not going to go
Texas.
as far as saying it's natty or bust, but I
What?
do. I
Why
do
not?
think
Why not? Please, quickly
because
explain.
he's gone 13-3, 10-3. Like he's having good overall seasons.
Which
Now I'll
is
say Texas.
true. That's true. But
Now I'll say does
this
Texas
team is
have really high
stacked,
standards?
Justin.
This
team is stacked.
In their fan base and all them people have extremely high standards. Yes, they do. But if this team can, I think, make an SEC championship, make it to the playoff and win in the first round again, and it doesn't look like they just get whooped in the next round or whatever, I think they'll be fine with it. I think if this team can make it to a second round and not get blown out the water, I'm not going to say they'll be fine with it, but I think they'll once again give Sark another year. Like,
they'll give him an extra year. But I mean, like, if they don't win, if they don't make the natty, it's a disappointment. You actually Texas man,
I would say that's when that's when the murmurs start. That's when you start to get like guys start to talk about like how far can he really bring this team? Like it seems like he has a ceiling, all this other stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think what really hurt him was not unlocking Arch the way that people thought he would. I think if Arch came out balling, I think people would like the record more, like because of the eye test. It looks better. Even though they still went 10-3, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it looks better because Arch is balling. So that means Sark's doing something. But it took I would say the back half of the season, Arch did start to come along. Like y'all saw, like he started to do a lot better. But I'm not gonna say it's natty or bust, but I do like where you have him at in this list. It's hard for me to once again, he is right there with Kiffin and
he's the perfect spot for him.
Yeah, he's super close to Kiffin and Cristobal again to me. But I would say, I don't think I would put him slightly. Yeah, I would put him over Kiffin. Just
listen, I tell you, 6 that's the perfect spot for him. I'm telling you, 6 is he's got the 2 possible playoff appearances. You know what I mean? He's 48-20. So I think that's he's outside the top 5 range. Now people will say the person after him, you could make an argument that between him and the other guy that it's neck and neck. Personally, I'm going with the other guy, but
I'll say this though, think about this. This is a really tough question. Which is a better team? Ole Miss with Steve Sarkisian or Texas with Lane Kiffin? Based off their last year.
Ooh. Obviously, if you gave Lane with Arch to them, you got
that would be so nasty.
Lane would cook. Yeah,
crazy.
Bro. Lane would cook, and maybe we're glazing too much of Lane this session, but I ain't gonna lie, you give him some Arch with that offense.
As a Bama fan, I give Lane credit for everything he did with that offense. Our offense was absolute trash before Saban said, let me bring in someone who's going to do something different. And that man turned us up. And since then, we have had a solid offense. I think to this day, if we had not brought Lane Kiffin in, we'd still be run the ball in defense. You know what I'm saying? I think Bama would still be playing that type of ball.
Man, that's the thing. But you saying it's not natty or bust, it's so crazy because they spent over 30 million.
40 million. No, it's 40 million. It's 40 million.
Yeah,
they spent a stupid amount on Cam Cole and some of them other guys. Yeah,
bro. One SEC GM, they said, "Oh, we gave Cam Coleman a blank check." I really think it's Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M gave him a blank check. It's Texas A&M or y'all.
Or Bama. Us, I'm so
I was gonna say A&M or Bama too.
Yes, bro. It's A&M and Bama because his top 3 was Texas A&M, and Bama. Those were the schools he visited, and he wanted to take his time.
Yeah,
I truly think Texas A&M and Bama okay, here's a blank check. Look, what you want?
I ain't gonna lie, Cam better than me. They will offer me a blank. Sorry.
Nah. Because if you really think about it, Cam wanted a chance to be in the playoff, and Texas has had more of a history of being in the playoff with this new format.
Yeah, the few. Then again, though, A&M, you got Marcel Reed in them, so that's why
I don't think it's that much different from A&M.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not, but at the same time, Cam's going to be the alpha in the room.
True. Texas staff is better too.
And you gotta think the way Arch ascended and the way Marcel Reed descended at the end of the season, it plays a part into things.
And then the staff, like I said, the staff is better with Texas. Staff's way better.
Yeah. Romell, you see how we talking about Texas and A&M, no Bama?
Telling them, Bama on the downward spiral. They on the spiral. They in the
Bro,
past. The SEC now.
next season this gonna be Justin. Oh, I can't with
We'll
this
see, bro.
team.
I'm not gonna say that
Bama might
right
be in the
now.
past now,
I'll tell
man.
y'all right now. I'll tell y'all right now. Like, I don't know what he's gonna look like, bro. I truly don't. I really don't. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with y'all. Now, do I think if a team probably gave him a blank check, I think it was a lot more likely that it was A&M than Bama, honestly.
100%.
But
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like Bama knows like if they had that urge to win, you would have gave him blank check too, respectfully.
I feel it. Yeah, I'm not mad about what we did in the portal, bro. But like, yeah, like I wish y'all had me on that day. But like, I'm really not that mad about what we did in the portal. I think we played. I think we could have gotten. I think we could have done a lot better, but I don't think it was so bad. I think people are underwhelming it. I guess they're underestimating it. Like we got what we needed. Like that. I guess we didn't go for just big guys. We went for positions that we truly needed. Running back, line, D line, like.
Not gonna lie, y'all trust in y'all freshman class, and I respect that.
And we did, yeah, we did trust in our guys that are coming up, bro. Because they tired of guys transferring out and balling.
Yeah. Who's 5?
Marcus Freeman. This is a great one. I think it's a great pick for Joel. Joel, this is a solid one. Just after Notre Dame made the Natty last season, missed out
Yeah,
this season, but Freeman's just a great coach overall.
he
Like
is. He
like
is
ever
one of
since
the
2022, when they went 9-4, it's just been a season of like, you know, improvement. So I think, and especially with this year, they're going to be probably more than motivated than ever since they got left out of the college football playoff, which rightfully so in my opinion, but it's another talk for another day. Um, but I think Freeman being at 5 over Sark, Lane, Cristobal, Winningham, I think that's a perfect one because Freeman also was like was a couple candidates for the NFL too, but Freeman obviously want to stay in college. Don't really blame him. So I would say Freeman at 5 is a perfect tier. I think that's a great pick for Joel, and I also agree with them. I think Freeman's like a top 5 head coach in college football easily.
I can agree to that statement because one thing about Notre Dame, bro, regardless of that offense, that defense gonna show up, bro.
Yeah, that defense be balling
That
out.
defense, that defense gonna show up, and like I think what Marcus Freeman has done, I think he's developed a really good what is it, persona of being like a player's coach, being a guy for his team, and I think that when we saw Brian Kelly leave Notre Dame, people were wondering, okay, who are they gonna get? Who they gonna get? Like we gotta come up with the guy quickly. But then they was like, bro, like he's on our staff. Like let's elevate Marcus Freeman, and let's see how things go. And I think that what I've seen is that if you hire a defensive coordinator in college football, it works better than hiring an offensive coordinator because defense can keep you in games. Because if a good defensive coordinator becomes a head coach and you hire a good quarterbacks coach, everything else gonna work itself out. But on the offensive side, I feel like the offense side it works better in the NFL than it does in college because
I see what you're saying.
Cristobal, defensive coach. Cinetti, he was an offensive coach. But if we go down the list, we're gonna
Yeah,
hear a
because
whole bunch of
Kirby was defensive.
Kirby was defensive. Yeah, like you
Yeah,
feel me? So it's like, oh, it's gonna be a whole bunch of defensive more than offensive. But in the league, but in the NFL, it's more offensive than defensive. So that's where I'm getting at. But if we're really thinking about it, for right now, I think defense gonna win you like games. And when we talk about it, we talked about Indiana's offense a lot, but that defense and that D line, that was the mainstay. Like that what kept them consistent at being good. So I feel like being consistent on the defense and having a consistent defensive head coach can work wonders for your program for sure.
Yeah,
what do you
I'm
think,
rocking with
Justin?
where we at. Honestly, I like this spot. I like that he's top 5. Now the guy above him, which we'll talk about in a second, I do feel like it could be very up and down. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel
Yeah,
like you
interchange.
could
I
flip
agree.
those two. But
Okay.
but as of right now, I don't think this actually no, I'm gonna switch those two. I'm not gonna say who it is yet, because we'll say it in a second. But like, yeah, I'm gonna put Freeman at 4. He made a championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though they lost, they went to the Natty. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They beat your team on the way, Mr. Eye Roller over here. He's not having a great time because he knows.
Oh,
But
me?
Yeah,
but
nah, yeah, I remember that. Mm.
yeah, so it's like I can't
Oh,
take that away from him. And like you said, he was getting those looks for NFL teams and stuff like that. Now, does that make you better than the other guys? Not necessarily, but it does make it seem that like there's a lot of people who see something really good in you. And like you said, I do on your statement about the defensive coaches, yeah, I feel like defensive coaches can usually get their team to a further point. You know what I'm saying? Like an offensive coach can have like an insane offense, like Lane Kiffin. He had insane offense for years, but the reason why he couldn't get past the point was because his defense always sucked. Like his defense was not good. Like up until these last, like I would say, 1.5
2 years.
seasons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
exactly.
years.
Like so, it's like, but the reason why he couldn't get that past that point is because his defense wasn't good. So it's like you can have an insane offense, but if your defense isn't at least solid, like doesn't matter. So, um, but yeah, I think I give Marcus Freeman his credit, and I won't lie, I was a guy who's been hard on Notre Dame, felt like they played nobody, all this other stuff. Every time Marcus Freeman comes up against this team, he at least, if they don't win, they at least compete, and a lot of times he does end up winning.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't take that away from
Bro.
Yeah,
him.
you remember the A&M game? That game went to like the end of the wire. A&M scored like a last minute, like 18-second left touchdown. Like Notre Dame was in those games.
The last second, bro. I watched
Yeah.
it. I was so sick. I was so sick.
Yeah, bro.
But
Like it's not
but
like Freeman's a great coach. Like if I want to start a program, college program with a coach, I'm picking him over a lot of guys.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I think
But
Freeman's definitely good.
but one thing about it though, Notre Dame gonna lose to an unranked opponent though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You're such a hater, bro. You had to bring that up, bro. This man can't. Georgia lost, bro, so he has to hate on them, bro. Like,
Oh no, bro! If you was a Georgia fan for the 2024 season, bro, you knew you wanted that season to be over with. Let's keep it a stat, bro. It's too much going on with our team, and it was like so many drop passes from the wide receivers, and we bringing up that, like, of course, like I didn't want to go out in that way, but we there was no championship expectations for me at all that season.
Yeah, Jonathan, number 4. We got Dan Lanning from Oregon. He's number 4. But then Justin said he would switch Lanning with Freeman, and I don't know. As much as I did say I do love Freeman, um, I don't know if I can put Freeman over Lanning because like I don't know the way Lanning's like retook this Oregon program. Like he's been 26-3 since 2022.
Why are we saying retook? Like it was just downright terrible.
It wasn't
Oregon,
terrible, but like he's
Oregon
made them
was
into a powerhouse.
good.
He's made them
so
into a
why are we
powerhouse
saying
now.
A powerhouse. Oh, okay, tell me. What makes Oregon a powerhouse compared to the other people?
What do you mean?
What makes Oregon a powerhouse compared to Notre Dame?
They got better quarterbacks, better skills.
nothing? No, nothing. Stop. Stop it right now.
Oregon has got better skills than Notre Dame.
But better skills? What does that even mean? Like, no.
Like receivers,
Running back, we're taking
running
Notre
backs,
Dame.
corners.
We're talking about this past season. Running backs, Jeremiah Love clears everybody on that.
That's 1 year. That's the past. That's just the last 2 years. I'm saying, listen, Oregon for the past 4 years. Obviously, they haven't gone over the hump. Obviously, but in terms of like Dan Lanning in this program, or we all know Oregon was like always up and down, up and down.
What?
Were they not up and down, up and down?
I mean, I agree with you. I'll give you this. Like Lanning has
Like the way, like the way how Oregon is now, they were not that way like 5-7 years ago. We know that. Come on.
to me, Lanning has just underwhelmed a little bit. I feel like he always loses one where he's not supposed to, bruh. Like, I always feel like he loses one where it's
Bro.
like, this is a really close game. This could be it. If Oregon wins this, they're top in the Big Ten. And then they lose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Marcus Freeman be winning those games like we were just talking about. Like, he is competing, and a lot of times he does end up winning those games. So it's like, even though Lanning doesn't have many losses on his schedule, if you go back and look at those losses, those were important losses. Like, they really needed those wins, or it was a game that you really felt like Oregon could prove themselves right here, and they didn't. Versus like Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, a lot of times they do in those moments. Like, there's been so many times where I've doubted Notre Dame going into those games, and then they win, and I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah, because
I have
listen.
to give more credit to them.
All I'm saying is Lanning brought back the Oregon that Chip Kelly had back in like the early 2010s. Because when Chip left, they had like a little era where they were. I'm staring at it. Look, they went like from 2015 to 2018. They were like
Okay.
mid, up and down. Cristobal comes in. They went 12-2. COVID happens, and then Lanning comes in, and they just, you know what I'm saying, they started to win. They started to finish top 10 within the last like 3 years in college football.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're back to like what they were when we were kids growing up. They were like a powerhouse team with Chip Kelly.
Powerhouse. Okay.
I can understand what you mean. They're back to like being like true championship contenders, I guess. Like, in my opinion, they're more like Big Ten contenders. Like, it's hard to see them championship because they can never make it out the Big Ten clean. So it's like I can't even call them a championship contender. I feel like.
So under Dan Lanning, they won one Big Ten championship, correct?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're Big Ten contenders. They're not championship contenders.
And then they have won one playoff game, correct?
No, they won 2.
Who else?
They beat
James Madison, and then they beat Texas Tech.
They beat Texas Tech. And then
one playoff game, as I said. Anyways, so then we're going to consider him over Marcus Freeman because that
we are not. We as a collective are not going to do that.
Marcus Freeman went through that gauntlet in 2024. Like, can we we talk about Texas front running? Oregon does the same thing. If we're being honest, bro, there's a soundbite every year from Dan Lanning front running. He pops it. Literally last year he talked about the SEC? It was something.
Also,
he was talking.
And then you gotta look at it too from a schematic standpoint too. Lanning's the better play. Well, Freeman, I don't think Freeman calls plays or anything. Lanning's the better offensive guru than Freeman. It's not to say Freeman's not a great coach. I'm not saying Freeman's not a great coach. I'm just saying you got Lanning being an offensive guru. They both are. That's what I'm saying. They're interchangeable.
Lanning's not an offensive guru. It's his coordinators.
Well, we're gonna see this fast. We're gonna see this season.
His coordinators do their job very well, but we all know defense is Lanning's strong suit. So let's do it like this. 2022, that was one of the best offensive years for Georgia history. Would you call Kirby Smart offensive guru that year?
Oh yeah, I don't know why I said offense. I meant defensive. Ooh, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay,
but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But all I'm gonna say is they're both
offensive guru. I was say no, sir.
He's a defensive guy. I would say in terms of like play calling, I don't think either of them do it like a ton, honestly. I think they're both, I guess, motivators. Like, they're really good motivators and developers. I would say they're better at that. Those two coaches, I would describe them as those types of coaches. But yeah, it's like Marcus Freeman has made it to a championship, like, and competed like in the national championship, bro. I cannot, and he's won, to me, the big games that he comes up against. He has been more impressive to me than in Dan Lanning's big games.
Yeah.
His big wins or his big moments are more impressive than Dan Lanning's big moments. Like, James Madison and Texas Tech, I'll flip this desk right now. Like, let's be serious. Like, that means nothing. That means nothing.
That boy said he'll flip that desk. Oh my God. All right, who's top 3? Who's top 3? You just do top 3 in order. Says
Kirby's 3, Day's 2, and Cignetti's 1. And Obviously you got to switch those. I would go Signetti 3, Day 2, Kirby 1. I think Kirby still deserves that top spot. I don't know. I don't know where. Obviously, Georgia hasn't won the Natty since 2022, and they haven't gone past the semifinals since then. But still, at the end of the day, like I don't think obviously Signetti's a great coach, changed Indiana's program, but like, can we pump the brakes, please? He's
Yeah,
not better
Signetti.
than Kirby.
Signetti's
Uh,
not over Kirby. I'm
I
not
don't
putting
know.
him over
Signetti's not
Day
over
right now.
Day.
Yeah, he's
I
not
don't
over
know.
Day either. Right now, he's 3. In my opinion, I go Day,
Yes,
Kirby,
Signetti's
Signetti.
3. It's Kirby,
Nah.
Day, then Signetti.
You have to
I
have
don't,
sometimes, like, I guess it just feels like if this list is basing off of only last season, sure, we can say Signetti's number 1 because he won a championship. But like, if we're basing off of, I guess I'm looking at it in an overall picture of like, what have you done in recent, like, I guess since 2020, maybe just the last 5, 6 years, last 5, 6 seasons, like
Exactly.
something like that. Like, I feel like that makes more sense in terms of what this list we're looking at. Like, the rest of these guys
Exactly.
have been competitive and have contended or been a name for the last at least 3, 4 seasons. At
yeah.
least most of them. Like Signetti, like you did really good last year, and Indiana did solid last year and made it what? Didn't they go Big Ten
Yeah, they went to
championship?
the
They
first
lost.
round. They played Notre Dame and they lost
That's what I'm saying. So
last
it's like,
year.
yeah, like cool you did that, but like you jumping to number 1 off of this season is like
That's what I'm saying. Like Signetti, and I don't want to say this. Obviously Indiana, they got a great roster coming up. They can go and they can go 8-4. So I'm saying like we gotta I gotta see one more like that's not crazy to say. Can I see one more season from you? That's not crazy to
no,
say.
it's not ridiculous at all. That's not ridiculous. That is what most people should be asking for before putting him at the top of their list. Like,
Yeah,
let me see you do it at least one more time. Kirby Smart has won 2 championships back to
back to
back.
back, back to
And,
back.
and then and then Ryan Day has won a championship too, and at least been to the big game more than once. Like, nah, I'm sorry, Signetti, you're not. No, like,
I'll say it like this. Kirby could have had 3 in a row. If Kirby goes 3 in a row in this era, nobody saying nothing about Kirby Smart.
Like
Respectfully.
it's just
yeah, this wouldn't even.
I just find it ridiculous that he's that 3. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, if he had won that 3rd in a row, they'd be like. I'm not saying he's in
Bro,
Saban territory, but like
but
he's in
he's
that.
right
He's in,
there.
yeah, he's in Saban territory in the sense of like this is the top coach, and then there's the rest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kirby would
Bro.
literally be there. Like, if he had won 3 in a row, it would be like, okay, we're making a top 10 list, and we might as well make it 2 through 11 because we know who one is. Like, but
Yeah.
as of right now, as of right now, I know you're gonna hate this, but I'm going to put Ryan Day over him. I'm gonna say Ryan Day, Smart, and then Signet. Like, I have to, bro.
Nah,
Like,
I
Ryan
can't put Day over. I can't put Day over. I can't
Ryan
do it.
Day has
Thank
done.
you.
But you
Let
even
Ohio State
and
fans
I'm
agree
a
with
yeah,
me.
yeah, no, yeah. I'm riding Kirby over Day.
Oh, real
I'm
ones. No,
sorry.
like stop doing that.
They've
Yeah,
both been to the same amount of championships. They both been like to the same amount. It's just Kirby got that one over him. So it's like, to me,
Man,
it's not that much of a gap. Like, it's really not crazy. Like,
man.
if they had won that one, if they had won that other championship, the 2020 against what was it, Bama or whatever, I don't think people would be tripping like
Oh,
that. Like, I don't think that would
no,
be a crazy
brother,
conversation.
brother. Nobody's gonna beat that. Who guarding Devontae Smith? You should know that
Well,
better
not.
than anyone. I said who's gonna guard Devontae Smith? You know, and you know
I
that
mean, they
any.
weren't gonna beat us. They weren't. But that's what I'm
Okay,
saying. Like it to me, it's not crazy. Like, it's not
bro,
crazy to put him
Hey,
up
no,
there
moving
it's
along.
not
as a
crazy,
coach.
but
He's competitive. Like, he is up there. Like,
yeah, like Day is up there. No, Day should always
No,
be in
Dave.
everyone's top 3, top 2 coaches of college football. But
he is
I I
arguably at the
I
level.
can't put him over Kirby because, like I said, the back to back. It's not. That's so hard to do. That's so hard to do in sports.
And mind you, the second year he went undefeated.
And then the following year they get robbed out of the college football playoff. You know what I'm saying? So,
boy.
but then
That
here
23.
but here's what comes with Kirby though. They bring up the last 2 years. Like
Fast. He hasn't won
you've
the
had a
playoff
first
game.
round bye. You've won it. That's why. But here's the thing. It's why I have Kirby over Day because you've won your obviously, people will say conference doesn't matter. Conference champs does matter. Who cares? Um, Day hasn't won a Big Ten championship since 2020. I hold
Yeah,
that
fact.
accountable to him.
Don't worry. That can be another episode. That can be another episode. That can be another episode.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm,
Like Day
I'm ready.
hasn't won a conference championship since 2020. At least Kirby's won a conference championship.
Yeah.
So that's why I got Kirby over Day.
Nah, fast. I'll say this. Kirby Smart, great head coach. Love the guy. He wears a bowl cut at his big age. I'm cool with that. He wins his game.
That's so unnecessary.
Bro, everyone knows Kirby will be wearing it. I'll be rocking with it because he rock with us. But I can say the last 2 years, 2024, I won't put too much on that. But this past season, brother, oh brother, he should at least won one. But now I think Georgia fans, they not putting any pressure on the team. I think they just want to see the success that we once had back into that form. But I think what we had was the youngest team in the SEC. The average age was 19, I think. 19 or like 20. We was the youngest team in the SEC, and we won the conference. That's a step in the right direction. Because now this year, if you guys, those young guys have now matured. They've been in bright lights. They've been in big games. Now, for this season, when it comes playoff time, then it's like, okay, Kirby, show us something. Show us a couple wins.
That's
Show
why I
us some
think
things.
there's obviously Kirby's far from a hot seat, far. But
Yeah, but it should be some flack.
there is pressure. No, there is pressure this season.
Yeah.
Probably like leaning more towards like like no, not 2022 type pressure. But you get what I'm saying. There's something there.
2021, no. But before
Yeah,
the season,
2021, yeah.
before the season of 2021 season, people were like Kirby's good, but how good is he?
Yeah.
Like, people were questioning like how good was he? But I'm not saying it's similar in that sense to where, okay, if we don't win this upcoming season, it's gonna be like Kirby has to adapt. Like he has to adapt to the new era of college football because you won't have to spend so much on certain recruits. They'll commit to you for this kind of rate. But sometimes you have to go and spend some. But I will say Georgia and Kirby is smart about spending money on recruiting because that return on investments they get the most out of. Like I feel like the biggest transfer that Georgia has gotten that I feel like we spent a lot of money on was Zachariah Branch.
And that's why whenever y'all talk about Bama in the portal, bro, I don't want to hear it, bro, because Georgia don't.
One last thing though, I will say is one last thing about Georgia. Georgia cannot afford to lose in the quarterfinal again, though. You gotta win one.
I was going to say this. To me, it's like I feel like there's a difference between like I feel like there's two types of like coach hot seats. There's the coach hot seat where it's like if you losing at all is like you're
fired.
Like you're
done. Yeah.
Like, versus there are coaches where it's like it kind of depends on how you lose. Like if you lose, you might be done, but if it was close enough and it was respectable, maybe not. That's why I said like I don't think Kirby's on the hot seat at all, but I think this season will more be about like if Georgia loses, it will more be about how they lost versus like the fact that they lost. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's what people are putting them on for that Ole Miss game. It's not the fact that y'all lost; it's how it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like watching this game,
you get outscored at 22-3.
Like.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. Like seeing the mistakes that were going on and all that other stuff. Yeah, it's how it happened. Like it's not the fact that you lost. It's the same thing I had with Kalen DeBoer. Like you lost only 2-3 games, and people might go back and look at your record and be like, "Oh my God, like it's only 2 games. Like it's only a second year. You got to give him time." No, that's not the problem. It's watching it and seeing how it goes down. Like that's what makes you like it, when you look at how it goes down. Sometimes you look at it and you're like, what is going on? Like this doesn't look like we're moving in a good direction. So I feel like that's where I'll be looking at Kirby this year. Is like it's not like if in slash when you lose, because we know like at this day and age it's impossible to get out without a single loss. Like so it's like when you lose, how did it happen? Like
I agree.
Yeah. Well, we agree with some that Joel Klatt said, and we disagree with a lot of what he said.
So wait a minute. What would your top? Wait, before we end it, what would your top 5 be then?
Top 5. Okay.
Yeah.
5. I'll go Landon. 4. Freeman. 3. Day. 2. Cinetti.
That's wild. You
1
got
Smart.
Day at 3, bro.
1 Smart. I think what it is for me, like no funny. I think Day has allowed someone to come into the Big Ten and become king. I think Kirby Smart hasn't allowed anyone to do that. I think this season will be a big test for him because LSU has gotten that roster. Texas has now gotten that roster. I think what Indiana did last year, I think it now it's open of like, okay, who's really the top dog in the Big Ten? When it comes to the SEC, there's going to be questions throughout the season, but as the season prolongs, who do we always see ascend at the end of the season? Georgia, and we see Georgia ascend to the end of the season, and we see them win the SEC. And I sent just in that video after Georgia won of Dan Jackson saying the SEC runs through the G. And like I showed him that before we started that SEC Championship podcast. I was like, bro, watch what happens. And I think that there's no question and doubt of who's gonna be like, okay, who's gonna be top dogs in the SEC. Now it's like, okay, let them fight out and see. By the end of the day, I've seen Kirby Smart time and time again deliver. Once Saban left, everyone knows who's top dog and who's gonna be the best team, regardless of how you put it. People last year were just saying Georgia wasn't going to be that because of inexperience. Inexperience didn't play a factor because at the end of the day, Georgia held up that trophy. But now in the Big Ten, Cinetti has figured out a way to maximize his opportunity. And now in that window, who would you say is top dog in the Big Ten?
I still think
still
it's Day.
saying
I'm still saying Day. Maybe I'm biased.
You still
Maybe I'm
saying
biased.
Day?
I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but I still think it's Day.
No. Trust, like I get that. I get that. Like if LSU has if I'll say this, if LSU comes in has the continued success of successfully getting top end talent like they are,
yeah, and they won the Natty
performing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm like Lane might be top dog at the SEC, but for right now, he has to prove it to me. He has to show me it because at Ole Miss, he was good, but can you be great?
That's why
Cincinnati went from good to great. Cincinnati went from good to great this season, and plus, lose to Michigan that many times, brother. Let's just keep it a stat. That has put a little stain on Day's like viewpoint because losing to your rival that many times in a row. God, no, I ain't gonna lie. I'll take out 23. Them boys was cheating, OD.
I was like, wait, time out. Oh, Kirby's lost to Alabama 7 times. Like, what?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you
can I
that
talk?
against Day? Kirby's lost. Oh. Kirby's record against Bama is 2-7.
Okay, it's 2-7. He beat on Natty and he beat on in the SC Championship. Cool.
Okay, fine.
But that's
listen,
Saban.
You can't say that, though.
That's with Saban. We're not doing that.
They're
that's
both below 500 against their rivals.
No, that's Saban. That's Saban. Justin, no.
So Kirby's what? Wait, so Kirby's
the board and Kirby right now, bro.
So Kirby's 1-2 against the board.
Bro, don't say nothing about the board. We weren't talking about the board today, bro. We were leaving him off the list for a reason, bro. He was not on his list, bro.
He knows, bro. He knows. I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that.
Not on his list for a good reason.
Not going for that.
I might take the board over Kalani, though. I might take DeBoer over Kalani, though. The BYU coach.
I don't think that's super crazy, but it's like,
I don't think that's too crazy to take DeBoer over Kalani.
I guess it's hard. I'm super biased because I see as a fan where it's like, bro, like it's just the little stuff of like mentality that I hate about
Yeah,
DeBoer
that's kind of
sometimes.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't peep that DeBoer was left off this list. Dang, that's kind of crazy by Joel.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say nothing because I was like,
That's
bro,
what
like, does he have a
Yeah,
real?
shoot.
I was gonna say something, but then just like you're trolling, like you
I didn't
just
peep that. So you
troll.
just brought him up.
No,
Dang.
no, I don't think it's super crazy. Now, could you replace him with guys like Kalani or maybe Whittingham? I don't think that's insane either. Because like what he was doing at Washington was still good, even before he came to Bama. Like he went to a championship. Like you know what I'm saying? So and then even
Yeah,
the year before, Washington was still a solid team. But it's like
I would have took DeBoer. I would take DeBoer over Kalani, but I wouldn't have taken over Whittingham because Whittingham's got like that prestige history that gives him the edge.
Yeah. I think I don't think that's correct. But
yeah,
my top five, I'm going like this. Lanning 5. Y'all are gonna hate this, bro. At 4, I have Signetti. 3 is Marcus Freeman. 2 is Smart, and 1.
Yo, damn, you got a guy.
You have to show me. You have to show me more over year, I guess, bro. Like you have to. I need continuity. I need consistency. Like that's what I need. And the rest of these guys have shown me that more than Signetti has. Signetti had an insane 1 year, but right now the only category I can put him in is Ed Ogeron. You had a crazy 1 year. You had an insane 1 year. Like in the year before, you were solid. You know what I'm saying? But overall, like it's just you haven't done enough, bro. This is the same thing. You know how I talk about how Georgia fans were getting so hyped, like calling dynasty and dynasty. Remember what I always tell y'all? Y'all are Clemson. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like it's just too early. Y'all haven't done enough. You haven't added it up over year after year to be able to put yourself in that category. And right now, that's how I feel about Signetti. Like Freeman, Day, Smart, and Freeman, Day, Smart, and those 3 have all done more so far to me. Like
I will say this, Ed Ogeron, that's a good pull. I will say that's a good pull because like Ed Ogeron had a great 2019 LSU team, and the year before they were solid. COVID happens, and then Edo gets fired. You know how it goes. So
I'm very interested to see if Signetti's like his philosophy of how to build a team continues to work. I am so interested to see if that continues to work. Pulling these super old guys out of the portal, 3 stars, and then just turning them up to what they were before. Like exactly. So it's I'm really interested to see if that lasts. If that continues, yeah, he can be a guy who boosts himself to the top parts of this list, top 3, or maybe number 1, like where Joel Klatt has him. But like in general, like I can't put him even over Freeman right now. No, like nah.
So my top 5, y'all convinced me. Lanning 5. I think Freeman 4. I think Freeman does. The Natty appearance definitely should put him over Lanning. 3, Signetti. 2, I'm gonna go Day. 1, I'm gonna go Smart. I think that's a pretty front up and forward top 5. It's more so like what you've done for me over the past few years. And I will give Signetti this. When he went to Indiana and he said, "You can Google me, I'm a winner." I will say like he is a winner. Like wherever he's gone, he has won. So I will obviously lesser competition, but he's still a winner. He still knows how to win and develop.
We're weighing aura moments. We're weighing in aura moments.
No, we're not weighing. I'm not weighing aura moments, but like his resume does speak.
Bro, you have to realize Indiana was dog. Like
Indiana was dog. Yeah, like they were not. They were like
the time when Indiana was like that. It was dog.
Yeah, bro. So like I gotta give them.
They had like that one Michael Penix year where they was decent, but they was dog throughout. Like
Indiana
growing up,
always.
Bro, we was not talking about Indiana. Like, come on, bro.
Indiana was always known growing up, always known for hoops, never football. So the fact that he got them,
he's not a good football like program historically, like, but it's just bro, like now.
But I do see what you're saying that like you gotta show me more. I do get it though.
You gotta do it year after year. You gotta do it year after year, man. Like I can't, like dude, like I said, I'm not one who's going to like name anyone anything until you truly prove it to me, bro. Like, and I told you it was the same thing with Georgia. Georgia felt so hype and all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm no different than Clemson, man. Clemson won 2 championships. They never called themselves a dynasty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Cignetti has done this, and Ed Ogeron has never told him this. Has anyone ever considered Ed Ogeron the best coach in the world? Like, were people calling him the number one coach? Like,
in 2019,
going
I
into
cannot. I'd have to check that. I don't
20,
remember.
no,
If they were
no,
or not.
no,
I don't
That's
no.
what
think
I'm
so.
saying,
Yeah.
because that
was
team
one
was
player.
insane. Like, so it's like, bro, like I just can't, like, nah, not
But I
right
think
now.
it's because like me and Jonathan said, like he took Indiana from like being the bottom of like the power the Big
Ivy.
Ten, and like he's just
I give him credit
imploded.
for that. I
Power
give him
Because
credit.
four.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
give him
Like
credit for that.
LSU was
Power.
always great.
Yep, I give him credit for that. Two things I want to see is what does Cignetti's team look like year over year as he continues to do this recruiting philosophy that he's done with. I don't care about high schoolers. I'll take your 5th-year senior and turn them up. And then also, when your team is no longer just a bigger JMU, his team was almost damn near the whole thing was James Madison. Like when you've lost your guys, you got to restart with these randos that you keep pulling from other teams in 5th years and 6th years. Like what does it look like then?
Yeah, I'll say
That's what you're
for
saying.
me, y'all convinced me. Yeah, y'all convinced me. So 5 Lennon, 4 Freeman, 3 Cincinnati, 2 Day, 1 Smart. I think the James
Let's go.
Madison,
It's great.
the James Madison thing really because Pons was the best corner. Kamara was arguably one of their best
Yeah,
D
like
linemen.
their trenches were from JMU too. Some of their O line guys, their
Yeah,
D
like
linemen
so.
were from
Dude, your
Yeah,
JMU.
entire team is JMU. Like when
yeah.
you lost those guys, you got to restart. Like I'm really interested to see, and that's why I can't put them there yet.
Yeah, like Sarat, he was JMU. I think was Omar Cooper or was he a transfer?
Cooper
Omar
came from
was
somewhere else. He was a transfer
yeah.
from
Omar
somewhere
came
else.
from somewhere
Yeah, okay.
else.
But regardless, he's gone. So, but what I'm really interested in to see, how does the SEC perform in the playoffs? Because the Big Ten has now won 3 in a row, and the Big Ten has claimed themselves as king in the college football board, and rightfully so. In this moment, the Big Ten is the best conference. I hate to say it as an SEC guy, but
Oh yeah, Big Ten been running this for like 3 years now, my man.
I applaud your non-bias because I am there with you. I think it was probably like it was sometime in college, maybe I want to say 2022 when I said the same thing. When I think I remember telling you that too. I was like, I don't know. I was like, Big Ten looks like this year might be the better conference. If not, they are the better conference.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like I'll say this. I'll say Michigan 2020 when they won 2022, 2023. I don't count that.
Michigan won 23. Then it was Ohio State. Then it was Indiana's past year.
Yeah, the Ohio State one. Shout out to Ryan Day for getting them guys to all buy in because a lot of them guys could have went to bigger schools, went to guy bigger roles. He got them guys to buy in. Shout out to him. Indiana, but I'll say the Big Ten, Cincinnati, they just had their guys trend upwards at the right moment, and I think that the LSU this year. I think the SC this year needs to have that moment of teams ascending in the right moment because Texas A&M was one of those teams where we looked at as like, oh, they got a chance of making a run in the playoffs, but they lost 10-3 against Miami. No,
Right.
then it's like we talk about Georgia, lost to a SEC foe and Ole Miss. Then Alabama got blew out by Indiana. That. No slight, Justin, no slight. But it's like,
I mean, it is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, if we really want to sit here and talk about it, the Big Ten has been running college football for the last 3 years. And if the SC wants to get back, the SC wants to get back to that, LSU and Texas have to perform. That's why there's so much riding on both those teams more than anybody because of NIL. They both spent over $40 million to get their rosters right. 2, their coaches are in new positions that they have not been in before, but now they're being thrusted into that moment because of pressure. And pressure either makes you a coward or it makes you a diamond. So will you show that you're a diamond and show that you can rise to occasion and hoist up that trophy, and now you can claim back being the best conference, or will the Big Ten continue that upwards trend, and now we're going to see the new age of college football being the Big Ten's world, and everyone's just living in it. So I think for what it is, the SEC has the most pressure more than anybody. The SEC top dogs has the most pressure more than anybody, in my opinion, because Michigan can go 10-2. Everyone's like, that's a really good season for Kyle Whittingham. Ohio State, they can go 11-1, and they can make it to a quarterfinal or semifinal. Everyone's like, good season, Ryan Day.
Yep,
We'll see what happens next year. So then, Indiana, let's say they go 10-2 or 11-1. Everyone's like, Cincinnati got them back into the playoff. That says something about his coaching. He doesn't even have to win it. He just got to make it. But in SEC, Georgia, you cannot make it. You have to win a game. You have not won a game since 2022. And then when was that? Championships. Fans have gotten used to that championship culture. LSU, son Brian Kelly, got Brian Kelly up out of there during the season. I haven't seen that from LSU. I haven't seen that from a top tier program in the SEC like that in a minute. Got Brian Kelly out of there. Spent so much money for Lane Kiffin to leave Ole Miss. Told him, this is your budget. This is your budget. If you need more, just let us know. $40 million. Built the most craziest roster. Arguably the most talented roster in football. They go tit for tat with Texas. Then Texas, Steve Sarkisian. Brother. There's no talking about it this season. It's being about it. I feel like the way you have to be about it is to win playoff games and to win certain matchups that you have not done to get over the top. And I feel like that's why it's so much pressure on the SEC this season, and we have to see them perform. So I think, in all in all, the SEC, you have to perform because a lot of eyes are watching you, and we just want balance to be restored.
That's not what he wants. He wants the SEC back on top. Talking about balance to be restored.
Oh, for sure, bro. Bro, you gotta think SEC back on top, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
It's better, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. It's better football. It's more fun that way because I'm a SEC fan. But yeah, I agree with you. Like SEC does have a lot of pressure. This is the first season where people are starting to admit like there's just no way that you can choose the SEC. The SEC over a conference like the Big Ten currently. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like because of what they went out and folded in a lot of big games or playoff moments, championship. You know what I'm saying? Like It was just not what we expected. Overall, I think there's two things that I feel like need to happen. 2.5. One is you have to have one team that's dominant again. Like you have to have one team that is head and shoulders above the rest, which is what the Big Ten had in Indiana this year. Indiana was head and shoulders above the rest. No one could beat them. So you have to have one team that's once again dominant and puts fear into the rest of the teams. 2, that mid-tier of teams, like there's too many of them. Some of them have to drop to the back or at least 2 or 3 of them have to rise above. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't have this many teams that are like you're kind of in the middle. You know what I'm saying? With Vandy and Missouri and Texas and Bama. It's like there's too many teams that are like in that range. So it's like and that's why I said you have to have a dominant team and then you have to have kind of a top tier. Like a lot of people used to get mad, like say SEC was top heavy, but that was when they were considered the best. So
yeah. Well, that's the end of this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, we'll be back next week with more episodes. I'll personally let Justin and Romell get into some things, but I will have some new things cooking up for us next week. So see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.